Biomed, Nexus, daily updates, your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. TLDR Bicycle Therapeutics, BCYC, cut 30% of its staff and shelved its Padcev challenger after the FDA rejected the Duravelo 2 trial design for accelerated approval. Aldeyra, ALDX, received its third CRL for Riproxalap in dry eye. The FDA cited the exact same efficacy concerns all 3 times. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang projected $1 trillion in GPU orders through 2027 at GTC, with Roche and Lilly both flexing their AI infrastructure on stage. Rhythm, RITM, faces its Imcivree PDUFA on Friday for acquired hypothalamic obesity. Phase 3 data showed a 16.4% BMI reduction versus placebo. Executive takeaway Tuesday was a day of hard pivots and hard truths. Bicycle Therapeutics burned through its second major restructuring in under a year, shelving its Nectin-4 program after the FDA made it clear the existing Phase 2-3 design wouldn't support accelerated approval. Aldeyra got rejected for the 3rd time on Riproxalap, confirming that FDA efficacy feedback is as close to permanent as it gets. Meanwhile, at NVIDIA GTC in San Jose, Jensen Huang projected $1 trillion in AI chip orders and put pharma AI front and center, with Roche and Eli Lilly publicly competing on discovery infrastructure. The hardware race is undeniably real. The proof that any of it can produce an approved drug is still missing. Read full analysis, what to watch. Rhythm, PDUFA, Friday, March 20th. Imcivree SNDA decision for acquired hypothalamic obesity. The sales force has already expanded from 16 to 42 reps for an addressable market estimated at 25,000 to 28,000 patients globally. NVIDIA GTC continues today and tomorrow. Healthcare AI sessions run through Thursday. Tuesday's financial analyst Q&A with NVIDIA leadership is worth reviewing for pharma customer growth metrics or healthcare vertical revenue details to pressure test the GPU arms race. Orforglipron decision window, Lilly's oral GLP-1 pill is under accelerated FDA review via the National Priority Voucher Program. Some analysts have modeled a late March potential action date, though no official PDUFA is publicly set. Rocket Pharma, March 28th. Kresladi PDUFA for LADI gene therapy. Approval would come with a highly lucrative priority review voucher. Today's top story, Bicycle Therapeutics hits a regulatory wall and pivots. Everything. What happened? Bicycle Therapeutics, BCYC, is cutting roughly 30% of its workforce, thus 86 people, and shelving zelenectide pevedotin, the Nectin-4 targeting drug conjugate positioned as a credible challenger to Pfizer's Padcev in bladder cancer. The regulatory roadblock, the FDA told Bicycle that the existing Duravelo 2 trial design would not support accelerated approval in metastatic urothelial cancer. Alongside the layoffs, Bicycle is immediately discontinuing Duravelo 3, breast cancer, and Duravelo 4, NSCLC. The pivot. The restructuring is expected to cut annual operating expenses by roughly 50% and extend the cash runway to 2030. Management now sees real value in nusifatide pevedotin, BT5528, an FA2 targeting drug conjugate that just opened a Phase 2 in pancreatic cancer, and their emerging radioligand pipeline with Bayer. Executive impact. FA2 has been historically undruggable, and pancreatic cancer holds massive unmet need. For Pfizer, the Padcev competitive overhang from Bicycle is essentially gone. For BCYC shareholders, this is now a pure show-me story with no near-term registrational catalyst. Oncology and rare disease. Rhythm's Imcivree PDUFA arrives Friday. The catalyst, Rhythm. Pharmaceuticals, RITM, faces its March 20th PDUFA decision date for the SNDA seeking to expand Imcivree, setmelanotide, into acquired hypothalamic obesity, HO. The data, The company recently reported additional Phase 3 Transcend data showing a mean BMI reduction of 16.4% for setmelanotide compared to a 2.4% BMI increase on placebo at 52 weeks. Responder rates showed 80% of patients achieving greater than 5% BMI reduction. The context: the FDA extended the review by 3 months in November after requesting additional sensitivity analyses, but no new clinical data was required and no safety or manufacturing issues were flagged. Imcivree generated $194 million in 2025 revenue, plus 150% YOY. An HO approval would be the drug's fourth indication and could meaningfully accelerate that trajectory. Clinical and research updates: Aldeyra gets a third CRL for Riproxalap. At this point, it's a pattern. What happened? The FDA issued a third complete response letter for Aldeyra's ALDX Riproxalap NDA in dry eye disease, citing a lack of substantial evidence of efficacy and calling the inconsistency of study results into question. This is the third rejection since November 2023. The disconnect: the FDA provided draft labeling during the review in December 2025 and March 2026, which some wrongly interpreted as a positive signal. Aldeyra argues Riproxalap shows clinical activity within minutes of administration, unlike existing treatments that take weeks. What's next? Aldeyra plans to request a Type A meeting and currently does not intend to run additional clinical trials. The FDA has evaluated this data package 3 separate times and reached the identical conclusion. Corporate and Business Development's GTC puts pharma AI infrastructure under the spotlight. The keynote: at NVIDIA's GTC 2026 keynote on Monday, CEO Jensen Huang projected $1 trillion in cumulative purchase orders for Blackwell and Vera Rubin chips through 2027. The pharma angle, healthcare and drug discovery, received significant stage time. Roche's deployment of 3,500-plus Blackwell GPUs for its hybrid cloud AI factory was highlighted, along with Lilly's LillyPod AI infrastructure. NVIDIA introduced new tools across its BioNeMo platform for molecular simulation and protein modeling. Executive impact: the healthcare GPU build-out is massive. However, nobody in the industry has yet attributed a single, approved, commercialized drug to AI-driven discovery in a way that clears the fundamental ROI bar. The infrastructure is racing ahead of the clinical proof, and closing that gap will define pharma AI sentiment for the rest of 2026. Policy and public health: orforglipron. Decision window is open. The catalyst: Eli Lilly's oral GLP-1 pill, orforglipron, is currently under FDA review with a potential decision in late March 2026, accelerated via the Commissioner's National Priority Voucher. The NDA was filed for obesity with a separate Type 2 diabetes submission planned. The market: this is the most commercially significant regulatory catalyst of the quarter, with global data forecasting $13 billion in peak sales by 2031. The oral format is critical to address poor, real-world GLP-1 adherence. The pricing: Lilly has committed to a $149 starting price for the lowest dose through Lilly Direct. With Novo Nordisk's oral Wegovy also under FDA review, both pills could potentially reach the market simultaneously, setting up a massive head-to-head pricing and access war. Read full analysis Biomed Nexus Pro. Institutional Intelligence Briefing. Today's Pro Brief: institutional. Read through why Bicycle's pivot to EFA2 is the more interesting long-term play and what it says about the FDA's accelerated approval bar in oncology. Rhythm, or ITM. Risk framing. Probability-weighted PDUFA scenarios and what each means for the stock. Market positioning signals. Orforglipron decision framing and why the National Priority Voucher makes timing completely unpredictable. Catalyst calendar. Deep dive, verified dates through late March. Upgrade to Pro. Today, read full article. Selective 2026, Sponsorship placements are available. Reply directly to discuss a partnership or submit an inquiry here.